I swear it's a dream come true. It's something that I never even imagined happening.
Today, I think the story will probably come down to the experience versus the inexperience for the Busch drivers.
Everybody was saying, well, obviously a Winston Cup guy is going to win because they know the racetrack. Did you have that in your mind when you started the race?
Well, experience is usually what wins a race, and so a track that Busch Grand National drivers haven't been to before, it was definitely looking up to the Winston Cup drivers.
Green flag is in the air and on the brake. Jeff Gordon will take off, gets a good start.
The incident where you ran out of fuel and then caught the caution was the key moment.
I thought our perfect day was coming to a quick end there.
And there's trouble for the leader in turn 2.
The car is slowed coming down the back straightaway.
They think he's ran out of gas.
We got the break of our lifetime because when we did run out of fuel, someone blew a motor and caused a yellow, and we coasted around, and all we had to do was go to the tail end. We didn't lose a lap.
Jeff Gordon trying to work his way back up to the front.
The guys on the radio kept saying was, be calm, we'll get there, don't worry. And we did. We just picked them off slowly but surely, and we were right back up front again.
Gordon's there right down to the inside of Dale Jarrett. Now he will flash by. Jeff Gordon, the pole sitter, back out in front.
I almost choked up one time. I said, man, keep our fingers crossed. Please let us get this one.
In only his 35th start, Jeff Gordon takes the checkered flag and wins the Atlanta 300.
This is a very, very big win for us. And I got to thank our new guy, Ray Abraham. He's really been a key factor to our program, and I couldn't do it without Bill Davis. He's everything. I'll never want this day to end. I wanted to stay in Victory Circle all day long. It was an incredible day. Who knows what's in store for the future.
The victory at Atlanta caught the attention of car owner Rick Hendrick. Within a few months, Gordon was testing with Hendrick Motorsports.
When I saw Jeff run the Atlanta race, I haven't seen that kind of talented young driver before. Not going to impress me as much as he did. And when you see a young guy that can handle an automobile like he can, you really think he'll be good for an awful long time.
Here comes Gordon in that Ford. Whoa.
Trickle made a strong move to the inside, got under Earnhardt, and when it did, moved Dale up enough that Jeff Gordon got under him also. It looks like he's going to be able to clear Dale and get back.
The Ted Condor car with Dick Trickle at the controls looking good, and here's Jeff Gordon wheeling right back into that Baby Ruth Ford, owned by Bill Davis, fighting with Earnhardt back straightaway. The battle for third. We've got a big incident in turn 2 Gordon, and here comes Earnhardt right back after him. Second place at stake here.
Most of the Winston Cup guys have seen that move 100 times over. Jeff Burton just saw it for the first time. Probably as soon as you pass Dale, his trademark is to drive right back under him. But it looks like he's going to make it stick anyway.
Earnhardt tries him on the inside.
Almost made it stick.
He may be the intimidator, but he's not intimidating Jeff Gordon in number 1 at least a little bit. Gordon right back around on the outside in Ford. Jeff Gordon in number 1. What a show he is putting on with Earnhardt in a battle for second position, while Mark Martin continues to draw away. There are now 46 laps complete, and among the leaders, Martin stays first, Gordon second, Earnhardt third, Todd Bodine being shown in fourth with Dick Trickle in fifth, Sterling Marlin sixth, Dale Jarrett in seventh, Ward Burton is in eighth, Kenny Wallace in ninth, and Michael Waltrip in 10th. Schrader just outside that top 10.
We've had problems with other things. It's just something that happened today.
All right, we're down to halfway. Just about to lap the 13th place car. Grissom was number 1. They've thrown the caution out of the field to roll them, get them ready to come on to pit road. It'll slow them down a couple of laps. These are counting laps, which will make 1:02 officially the first segment, with 98 when they come back out and crank.
Mark Martin blew up. Are you worried about the heart in this thing?
No, not at all. You know, our motor's running good. We've tested it quite a bit on the dyno. We've had real good luck with our motor so far this year, and so I feel pretty confident with it. The car's working great. We made a lot of changes this morning that we didn't know whether they were going to work or not. It's unfortunate for Mark because we really had him covered, and I was trying to reel him in. I think I had a shot at reeling him in. Passing him was going to be one thing, but he didn't have us all covered. I mean, me and him were really running good, and now it's a shame to see him out because I really wanted to race with him.
I need to talk to Jeff Gordon.
Fifth in points currently behind Kenny Wallace and Joe Nemechek, Presley and Bobby.
Like to stick of dynamite. It just depends how long the fuse is. And we saw a few of the fuses burn out on these guys. And they said they're not concerned about this car here, but every one of these motors, it's a toss-up if you make it go the distance on these 300-mile races.
Again, we have 11 cars now shown in the lead lap. We have 167 of 200 laps complete. A Ford is out in front, and it's the only Ford showing. No, it's one of two Fords. Morgan Shepherd's in fifth. So there you have the leader. There you see Jeff Gordon in front. And let's see that interval back to the second place car. There's your leader. And look how he's pulling away from number 2 pit road.
I would say it was ignition. They're jumping in the car. That's the only thing in there they work on.
Well, Jeff Gordon just radioed his crew and said, I'm going to get out of here. I want to get in clean air. He about had enough of racing side by side after that fourth turn jingle where he took the lead. His car owner, Bill Davis, said he hopes this thing stays green all the way. Turns out that the longer Gordon's car runs, the faster it runs. The other reason to want to keep it green, Bill Davis says this guy Trickle is just murder on restarts, and they don't want to have to do a restart situation with Dick Trickle. They're looking for a green flag all the way to the end.
Checker's going to be coming out this time.
Checkers will come out when they come by. It will be Jeff Gordon taking it home, but it looks like that second position is going to end up in the hands of Bobby Labonte, and it could move Morgan Shepherd to third. Let's sort this one out. Here is Bodine getting fired. He's trying to get back to the line. They're coming back across. Here is Bodine completing that lap. Checkers are out, and it is over in an unbelievable finish. The winner is Jeff Gordon.
They don't have a record on the last lap. It's unbelievable the way these races have been the last few weeks here.
For the second time this year, Jeff Gordon has won. I'm concerned about Dick Trickle. There's a group down around that car number 2, and we haven't seen much movement out of the car. 20-year-old Pittsboro, Indiana's Jeff Gordon flies to victory in the Baby Ruth Ford here in the Champion Spark Plug 300 this afternoon. At the finish line, Bobby Labonte will get second. Morgan Shepherd will come home third.
Talking to him, he can't hear us now. Can't hear anybody. He's on the way out of the car within moments. Jeff?
You want to put him in the car? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's Jeff Gordon. Come on out of the car. Come on.
All right. He's going to stand up. He's going to stand up.
Jeff's going to stand up. He's going to wave at the crowd. There we go. There's the enthusiasm. All right. Your wildest moment must have been coming off that fourth corner when you got into the jingle with Dick Trickle and with Phil Parsons. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, he was running really strong, and I knew it was coming down to the last few laps. I mean, there were still 20 laps to go, but Dick was running real strong. I didn't know if I could get by him. And Phil, you know, he was trying to get his lap back there, and Dick was battling with him, and I saw him get loose. And also Phil Parsons, and I went to the bottom. I knew it was either, you know, win or lose right there, and that was where we won the race. I mean,
how scary a moment was that?
It was real scary. I mean, we about lost it, but hey, sometimes you got to hang it out to win these races. I'm going for it. I'm going for the win. I'm not going for second.
This is the oldest car in your stable. Don't these things wear out?
This is the best car we've got in our stable. It's won twice now on super speedways from the pole. I can't say enough for this car. I tell you what, all the controversy that's been going on, these guys, I mean, they gave me everything that they had. I gave them everything I had. And no matter what happens, we're going to win races the rest of the season, try to win this championship.
Biggest payday, biggest day in your career.
Unbelievable. From the pole, I mean, I really didn't think it could be done, you know, and it was just our day. I mean, again, from Atlanta, it was our day. Today, it was our day. I mean, Mark gave us a heck of a run. Dick Trickle gave us a heck of a run, but, you know, can't say enough. I mean, we did it, and that's what counts.
And they are all grinning. This is still a team sport, even if there's controversy, as Jeff Gordon just told you. His biggest day, this 20-year-old is going to have some more big days and a great career yet to unfold.
$113,000 big this day. A Channel Lock Victory Lane interview with Jeff Gordon, successful here this afternoon in the Champion Sparkplug 300.
Well, Ken, we've talked about how young Jeff Gordon is doing quite a fine job here today, leading the All-Pro Autoport 300.
Is in the pit control center. Dr. Dick Berger and Randy Pemberton with us today, and there you see the leader, Jeff Gordon, number 1. And let's take a look at the story of the race, the Fram race story. If you're just joining us, Jeff Gordon was on the pole with a new record. He jumped out in front. Mark Martin took it away. Kenny Schrader got into it. Michael Waltrip had a very good run, led some laps. Jeff Gordon came back in that first half of the race. Then Martin grabbed the lead another time. Again, it was Jeff Gordon in that fight between the Fords. Then Jimmy Spencer jumped up in front of the first aid car. Then, after the halfway mark, Phil Parsons made a brilliant run, led some laps for the first time in years. Now, once again, Jeff Gordon is in command.
Jeff Gordon is stretching some stuff out on these guys, and I was hoping some of the changes that they made would get better, but they haven't been able to improve on their cars very much. Gordon's car just seems to be so dominant right now.
Caution, period. This is the guy who looks like he's going to clean house in Grand National Racing at Charlotte. For the moment, it is Jeff Gordon out in front, and he's pulling away. You talked about how he had the field covered and was just going, I'm headed home, goodbye. 4 seconds now, Neil, between
but the only thing I can say about that, Mark Martin's probably...
Let's find out how Jeff Gordon's car owner feels. There you see Phil Parsons running in that second spot. Car he's done all himself that's running so well. Jeff Gordon's car owner, how does he feel today? Dick Berggren can tell you.
Well, Bill Davis, have you found it?
I think so. We worked hard enough. You know, we got to give a call to the guys on the crew. They really worked hard this week. They really were focused on what we had to do and have done a great job. We've got to thank Ray Everham. Came back and helped us this week, and it sure shows. This is the hardest working team in the Busch Grand National Garage, I believe, and I think it's showing up today.
Ain't over till it's over, but he's looking awful good.
Hey, Dick, ask him who the new driver is for next year. Who's going to get in there?
Who's your new driver next year when you go to Winston Cup, Bill?
Well, I sure like that 44 car, don't you?
You get that? The 44 car, guys. That's Bobby Labonte. Remember, you heard it here first.
And he's running fourth right now is to be Jeff Gordon in car number 1 out in front. Let's get a Goodyear Racing update. Right now, here's Rick Benjamin.
Well, Ken, it's certainly been a very busy...
30 laps remain here this afternoon in the All-Pro Auto Park 300 as Gordon leads Parsons, Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Harry Gant in 6th, Schrader in 7th, Tracy Leslie 8th, Joe Nemechek on a charge up to 9th, and Jimmy Spencer now lies 10th.
You were talking about Junior driving that car earlier today, Ken. That brought back a lot of memories. We're listening to these 6-cylinders run now. Bud had that 358-inch motor, and Junior had 427 cubic inches out there riding.
Harry Gant is now in 6th. Now there's your leader, Gordon in 1st.
I promise you that what a racing facility we're in, and that's an area on that track. Everyone knows they need to do a little bit of work, and just as quick as they possibly can, I guarantee they'll correct that.
Well, they're still trying to discover what it is from springs or wells or something down there that keeps shifting that around. You saw Butch Miller, 17th place car, getting lapped again by Jeff Gordon, who is now just a vacuum cleaner here, sucking up the field as he roars down to the end of this and taking on tires here for this last go-round. Caution has wiped out Jeff Gordon's 13-second lead that he get pulled out.
I think the only thing that might make anybody be able to race with Jeff right now is the fact that some of the guys did put on fresh tires. I don't know how much of an advantage that's going to be. He's so good on the restarts and his motor's so strong. When he gets out front, it's going to be hard for anybody to run him down.
How about tomorrow? Ford's already wrapped up the Manufacturers Championship in Winston Cup. Richard Petty in his last race here on TBS. That's tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern, right here on
Nemechek, here we are. This is the crew of Jeff Gordon. They're sitting there sweating out these last few laps. Now look up here. We see Chuck Bound on the outside in the red car. There's Nemechek in the yellow and white car, second in the line outside. He needs to get a lap back. Those two cars need to get their lap back for the points involved before Gordon's a tough guy to take it away from him.
As they come down, there will be 186 laps complete. That means 14 to go. Just 21 miles to decide it. So time is pretty much run out on Nemechek from that lap down, and you see him in the box, Bound just in front. There's Bill Davis, car owner on Jeff Gordon's car, hoping their transmission stays glued together for one more big pound as they come down.
You know, you think all the races you do, you don't worry about transmission. I was leading Daytona one time and broke it on the restart just like this, and you got to keep that in your mind. Gordon's got to get it going 20-something more miles.
Nice, easy start by Gordon. And Michael Waltrip dives on the inside. There he is in second spot. Michael Waltrip, who has tasted glory on this racetrack. Harry Gant firing out here tomorrow. One of his favorite races, a race he won. 84, 85. Big time we saw Travis Carter. Travis Carter now working with the Bud Moore team. One of the brightest and smartest things that Bud Moore's done. Bring Travis Carter, his own team was on its uppers, into his team. They've won 2 races in a row. Here's Gordon in number 1 this afternoon, leading over number 30. Michael Waltrip, Parsons third.
And look at Mike Waltrip. That's about as close as they've been able to stay.
Back to the leaders.
Again, the amazing thing to me is we haven't seen anyone be able to stay this close to to Jeff Gordon is Mike Waltrip right now. Mike is staying with him. I don't know if Jeff pacing himself, taking care of it. I'll tell you what, Mike Waltrip is running him as hard as anyone has all day.
Ford first, Pontiac second. Back with the leaders again. And it's Gordon, followed by Waltrip. Parsons third, Bobby Labonte fourth, Terry Labonte fifth, Schrader sixth, Spencer seventh, Gant eighth. It'll be Kenny Wallace in ninth. Tommy Houston is 10th. Heck is in 11th. Resendez 12th and 1 lap down. Chuck Bound is 13th. Nemechek to 14th. And all of a sudden, Jeff Gordon begins to drift back out in front, building up that lead. Gordon plowing away.
Well, I tell you, it's a big question mark. Is Jeff really pulling that much, or did Mike just burn his car up running so hard trying to keep up with a car that's that fast on the racetrack? But whatever happened, they're separating just a little bit. But Mike could really make a run on with like 5 to go.
Parsons may have a handful in third spot, but you started way back in the field. Yellow is out on around the track. Leaders are coming back to the line. There you see Tom Peck's number 19 have been running so well. Here come the leaders back to the side this. Oh, right out in front of the leader comes Presley's car, darting through traffic and damaged automobiles. To the stripe comes number 1, Jeff Gordon, as it goes under yellow with Michael Waltrip in second.
3 laps to go. They're going to have to hustle here to get this thing going again.
I don't think they will. I don't think there's a chance we're going to get this thing back under green. I think Gordon has this one. It'll come under caution.
Kenny Wallace is just soon at the end under the caution. That thing looks like the snowplow we were talking about. The front cave completely in on it.
Celebration about to begin for the Bill Davis team. Waltrip second, Parsons third, Bobby Labonte fourth, Terry Labonte fifth, then Ken Schrader, Jimmy Spencer seventh, Harry Gant, ninth Resendez, 10th Houston. Now Resendez was able to pick up badly damaged and pull that car around. We'll see if they're able to keep anything running on that machine. Got a couple of laps to go and they come by this time. It looks like this one will be decided. Have them come across. This will be something.
It might turn out to be an old drag race right here.
It could be just 1 lap to decide it. There you had a major 4-car altercation. All kinds of cars torn up, and that's about the fastest work I've ever seen on a super speedway to get us ready to go again.
Looks like the place to watch is that flag stand up there to see what they're going to do next.
Field is coming around out of 3 and 4.
Here's a guy that would just soon see it end of the caution. Bill Davis owns the number 1 car, but I don't know if they've told him yet if it's going to go 1 more lap or not. Yeah,
no, I think that the 29 has run out of fuel. I think that Parsons... Long walk. There's Phil Parsons down on the bottom. And the fuel pressure on that car...
Like that.
Well, meanwhile, the story is in the back straightaway as we get ready to decide this under caution. And how about this for drama? There you see the Gordon car in first, Michael Waltrip in second, but where's the 29? Take a look for third.
Side of the car for centrifugal force sling the fuel to that side, making these left-hand turns. When you run slow like this, the fuel runs away from the pickup and the cars die. It could possibly have fuel, but it's just not capable of picking it up because it's not at speed.
So coming down for the finish on this one, we're sure that it's Jeff Gordon and Michael Waltrip. Now we're watching as they're pushing the Parsons car back up, but I think they'll probably penalize that car for taking an assist on this caution finishing lap. Checkered flag is coming down. They're going to finish, and they're... Michael Waltrip went up and nudged the 1 car across as they came across the line.
Maybe what he should have done, he just should have pushed him across and it disqualified him.
Disqualified. That may be what he had in mind. Well, we'll be back in a moment with more from this strange finish to the All-Pro Auto Parts 300 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. At the Charlotte Motor Speedway, for the second time in 1992, it's Jeff Gordon in the winner's circle. Let's go join him now.
Such a strong performance this afternoon. Back in victory lane in Charlotte. How big a day is this for you?
It's an unbelievable day. It's been a long time since we've been here, and car was just incredible today. And you know, it's unfortunate that Mark fell out because he was definitely the one to contend with, but I think we had something for him at the end. You know, what we did to the car at the halfway point really worked. The car was really neutral, just unbelievable. I thought Michael was going to give us some fits there at the end, but I just can't say enough for this Baby Ruth Ford Thunderbird. The motor ran great, the car handled great, and I'd also just like to thank Ray Evernham for coming on board. And it obviously makes a difference when he's with us. It just adds that little extra bit, but we're thrilled to death.
Ray hadn't been with him since his last victory here at Charlotte, but how about the end of the race with the caution flag and cars running out of gas? Were you worried?
I was scared to death. They said guys are running out of gas, and I didn't know what they were talking about. All of a sudden, mine started sputtering. I thought we were going to run out of gas, and just made it just enough. Got us all the way back here to victory circle. That's what's important.
Gann and Spencer took on new tires at about lap 183. You chose to not do that. Any second thoughts? Did you feel them coming?
Oh, we had second thoughts. We knew if we come in, they would stay out, and if we stayed out, some of them would come in. But we gambled. We had an awful good car, and I knew that there was 13 cars in the lead lap, and they were going to have to be pretty fast to get to us. But we just stayed real consistent. Car was excellent. I just can't say enough.
So there's the winner for sure. It is Gordon for the second time this year. And for sure, it is Michael Waltrip in second. Unofficially, we have Bobby Labonte for third today and Terry Labonte in fourth. With more on the story on how this race finally came down to this unusual finish, let's go to Randy Pempert.
Michael, heck of a run out there today. Just didn't have the time, and the caution laps hurt you at the end.
Yeah, well, he was better than us all day. He out-qualified us almost a second, so it says a whole lot for this Pennzoil crew to be able to get this car race ready and be able to make it interesting anyway. He just was a lot faster. Congratulate him. I think 4 or 5 years ago I ran second to another little 20-year-old. Rob Moroso beat me in this race, and I want to congratulate Jeff. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Hope we can be racing 20 years from now against each other.
And at second place, Jeff Gordon is all over Jimmy Spencer.
He's closed on him once. He closed on him earlier, just a few laps ago. Jimmy drove off from him. I don't know if something happened there, but anyway, back on him again now.
Yeah, and he'll worry him to death. One thing about Jeff Gordon, when he gets in that mirror, he's going to the outside, to the inside, all over the place, just to get your eye off the racetrack enough that you may miss getting in the corner properly.
Yep, anytime you're looking back, you're losing time, and that's what a guy tries to do.
Chad Chapin and Jeff Purvis make pit stops at lap 95 if you watch the battle for second place. Front, and Gordon has gotten around Jimmy Spencer. That created second place.
I guess he zigged when he should have zagged.
Hey, something happened that time. I didn't catch that one.
Name to name it on pit road. And these pit stops are dwindling down the number of cars on the lead lap. Right now, 20 cars continue to run on the lead lap.
And traditionally here, tire change, 4 tires hadn't made all that big a difference in these cars. You can put 4 tires on, they're a little faster for a few laps, but basically the tire they have here is a very durable.
Jeff Gordon coming in.
Here comes Gordon. Look at that. He gets the thing to the line. I mean, he brings it right to the line, locks it up, slides the front tires, and watch this stop, folks.
Glenn, he's headed your way.
Yeah, buddy, they planned to come in on lap 97, then a couple laps ago, Ray changed it to 98 to try to stretch it one more lap. Jeff said the fuel pressure was okay. They're going to put about a half around a wedge in this car. It's been just a little bit looser than what they like. They think they've got a car capable of catching Hornaday if they can make the right adjustment here. This will be a 4-tire change with the wedge adjustment, the fuel, and so far we got the clock on it. I want to see exactly how fast this pit crew works. We know how fast the Winston Cup crew. Oh, a little bit of trouble on the right-hand side. And the left is up now, and Jeff's revving the car up, and he's down and away.
And guess who's going to be leading when it's all over? Jeff.
Darrell said at the top of the show that Jeff would win this race. He did not specify which Jeff.
What Jeff's leading, that's all I know.
During that round of pit stops, as did Jimmy Spencer and Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff is up front. Jeff Gordon, that is. Jeff Gordon leads Ron Hornaday here at Phoenix. Rich Bickles just made a pit stop. The wildest night on TV is Thrill Zone Friday on TNN. At 7, car-crushing monster trucks on Motor Madness. Then ECW Wrestling at 8. And back-to-back Roller Jam at 9 every Friday night on TNN's Thrill Zone Friday. Back to Larry McReynolds.
Well, I talked to Tony Erie Jr. There's a little concern as Dale.
Let's go to Gordon's pit in Glen.
Well, Ray Evernham had just radioed to Jeff Gordon about the lap before that, guys, that told him that the 12 was coming fast, to let him go, he felt like that Spencer would wear his stuff out before the end of the race. Now, he's talking about Spencer's stuff, not Gordon's.
Now remember that Ray Evernham has left Jeff Gordon's Winston Cup operation, but he is still a partner with Gordon on this Busch car and calls the shots for Jeff on Saturday. Evernham will lead Dodge's return to Winston Cup in 2001. That was the good news from Chrysler Corporation this month. The bad news, released at the SEMA show in Las Vegas last week, or today, we're certainly rooting for Jeff Gordon. Cool here, so up he goes.
Jeff Gordon just changed 4 tires and fuel and was down and away. Ron Hornaday is still in. They made a major, and I do mean major gesture, Justin. Ron has the car stuck in the pits. He came in at a severe angle. He couldn't get out because of the car in front of him. He lost a lot of track position.
Porsche is your leader, and here is second and third, Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Boy, just a wiggle by Spencer, and they'd be all over him. Jeff Gordon really running well, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. on long runs really has a great race car. He's actually reeling in Jeff Gordon as we speak.
I don't know if anybody's got anything from Mr. Jimmy there or not. He looks mighty, mighty good today. I'm telling you. And you throw in the fact that nobody wants to mess with him, I'm telling you. he got this thing going his way, babe.
Catching him's one thing.
Yep.
31 laps to go.
If you're going to poke him, it better not be with a stick, I can tell you that.
No, better be with a sledgehammer.
You got it.
I tell you, he's a great guy. I love him to death. We're teammates on the Kmart team, and he does a wonderful job helping me all he can.
Well, I brought him in the Winston Cup racing, and I tell you what.
And they're pretty fair racers besides. Works them done. 26 laps to go here at Phoenix. The NASCAR Busch Series. One more.
Boy, he lost a lot of momentum.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Spencer continues to lead by about 0.4 of a second over Jeff Gordon. Let's go to Jimmy's pit and Steve.
And with crew chief George Church, hopefully we can hang on and win this thing.
What did he say?
He's from New England.
I understood him. That's bad, isn't it?
What's frustrating, he'll hold him down on the outside.
Oh.
Leaders, turn 3.
Well, this is very useful. I've seen Gordon do this so many times near the end of a race. You think you have him beat, and all of a sudden he goes to the outside and starts to motor away.
Well, I'm not so sure something didn't happen to Jimmy, though. Golly, he was just...
It did. That blue car caught him. That happened.
And another blue car right in the picture.
I'm not so sure so he didn't slip or something because while we were watching something else. Golly, Gordon was back pretty good ways.
Look at Earnhardt Jr. come in there now. Mike, he's turned it up another notch here. He's moved in here a real strong third right now. Maybe the quickest car on the track.
Well, if you win enough races, the points will take care of themselves.
He's in a pretty comfortable position. He's going to race pretty hard, and he's racing with 3 or 2 other guys that are good racers, and there's nobody really pushing him, so...
All right, let's look. Henson's got a great run off turn 4. Hornaday inside of Wallace. Not that time.
This track gets so slick down low later in the race that top groove comes in. Every time you go up there, it gets better.
18 laps to go. Here are the points as they run right now. Matt Kenseth will keep his championship hopes alive as they leave Phoenix.
Maybe.
He's got Hornaday right there. He's got Kenny Wallace right there, and he's got Kenny Schrader right there. That's 3 spots. Now this is a good runoff. He's got him this time.
All right, let's widen out. There's your first 3, and Jeff Gordon has a 1.6-second lead.
Or a checkout. He has moved away. Look at the distance. That's Gordon just way out of the picture there.
1.5 seconds. There is Jeff Gordon's advantage. There it is over Dale Earnhardt Jr. He is now.
Good boy.
Well, we got the white flag for Mr. Jeff Gordon.
Last lap. Jeff Gordon looking for his first Busch Series win since October of 1992 at Charlotte.
Carol, you're so smart. You said that Jeff was going to win this race. You just make me a little tired every once in a while. You're always right.
Well, he's got to make it on around here, but I felt real good about that prediction.
Here he comes off turn 4. This will be the 11th race of the season, won by a Winston Cup regular, and Jeff Gordon becomes the 14th driver to win a Busch Series race in 1999. Glenn Jarrett?
And to stand up beside of Ray Evernham, and Ray, it's obvious that you two still have that magic combination. It took a little longer to win at Phoenix than you wanted to, but you got it. Congratulations.
It's awful nice to win as a car owner.
Thanks Pepsi and Frito, Winter Circle, everybody that's been involved in this program. Rick Hendrick for the great motors he supplied us all year. Jeff Gordon's just a heck of a race car driver, and I'm really proud of these guys. They've come a long way. In 6 races, you know, we got a second, and now they've won one.
Well, as he said, they've come a long way in a very short period of time. We're going to let them go to victory lane.
Jeff Gordon led 37 laps, including the last one here at Phoenix today. Let's go to victory lane. Steve Burns.
Thanks, Mike. Jeff Gordon has just climbed out of the race car. Wow, what a race, Jeff. How'd you win it?
Oh, man, I tell you what, these guys did an awesome job in that last pit stop, got me out front, made some good adjustments. Jimmy Spencer was really strong, but he looked a little loose, and, you know, I just tried not to burn the tires up too much. These guys, I tell you, I'm so proud of them. I got my car owner, one of my car owners right here, my wife, Brooke. I want to thank her and thank Ray Evernham, our other car owner, and all these great sponsors, Pepsi, Fritos, Winter Circle, Ingersoll Rand. You know, this Chevrolet was awesome today. We've been gaining on it. You know, we needed 6 races instead of 5, and who would have thought it would have come here at Phoenix? Just a great win for us.
All right, congratulations, Jeff. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Hey, thanks, Steve, for the call.
On CNN Motorsports after this, Jeff Gordon the winner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. the champion. We'll be right back. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and crew, Jeff Gordon and crew celebrate a big day here at Phoenix International Raceway. Gordon the race winner, Earnhardt Jr. the champion.
73 laps to go. So it's Green, Gordon, and Martin, the top 3 in the triple box. We go to Dave Burns.
The last time Jeff Green radioed into Harold Howley, he said it's way, way tight coming off, so they're going to make an adjustment to try to take care of that. By the way, the guy from Jeremy Mayfield's crew who's helping out today, that is Scott Wolf from the Winston Cup side. He runs around to the left side now as they try to finish. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon's crew getting the left side done, and they are out first. Marty Snyder.
For the first time all day, Mark Martin has been tight. They put 2 rounds into the right rear. It is a 4-tire stop for Mark Martin, and he will not win the race off pit road 17.
Jeff Gordon gets off pit road first. His crew gets him out ahead of Mark Martin and Jeff Green. The big number, Jeff Gordon in second out first. Martin and Gordon.
Green flag, green flag.
Harvick, the lap car, sliding in between Gordon and Martin.
That's real good news for Jeff Gordon. Oh, Mark does get by Kevin Harvick quickly.
On the subject of Harvick, we have just been informed by NASCAR that he has won the 2000 Rookie of the Year title in the NASCAR Busch Series.
So congratulations goes out to Kevin Harvick.
24-year-old from Bakersfield, California. 3 wins in his rookie season in Busch Series competition, driving for Richard Childress Racing. Right now, though, he's 15th, a lap down in the race leader. Mark Martin hangs right with Jeff Gordon. 62 laps to go. Jeff Gordon leads the Miami 300. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Jeff Gordon leads the Miami 300 over Mark Martin and Jeff Green, the 3 of them within a second, and there are 57 laps to go.
Last lap, both Jeff Gordon had the quickest lap. Actually, Jeff Green was a little bit quicker than either. Jeff Green had the quickest lap. It was Jeff Gordon and Martin in second spot. On board with Jeff Green, the 3rd place cars. He looks at Mark Martin and trying to figure out how he can get by Mark. Can he get up to Jeff Gordon?
Gordon and Martin making their final starts in Busch Series competition here today. Let's get more on Jeff Gordon's spot from Dave.
Well, Lance Dieters, the crew chief, radioed to Jeff Gordon, and he said, you may have to baby it on this set of tires. There was 70 to go when the green came out, and the stop previous, their right front showed the same cord damage that we showed you earlier on Jeff Green's right front. So they told him, Jeff, you better baby those tires because they're going to have to go to the end. Marty Snyder?
And Mark Martin radioed to his crew and wanted to know the same thing. Tony Landon said, be conservative for right now. Let's be patient for about 5 or 6 more laps, then we can push it. You have to remember, this set of tires has to go about 8 laps more than the set of tires that Mark Martin ran all the way down to the cord. He said, behind you, Jeff Green is fast. Don't pay attention to him. Pay attention to Jeff Gordon. He's the one we have to race for the win.
Anyhow, those does a driver be conservative on his tires?
Well, they back off a little bit early going in the corner. They don't really wrestle with the steering wheel right there in the middle. They kind of turn the steering wheel gently and get back on the throttle gently. Try to drive the car as easy as they can. No quick herky-jerky movements with that steering wheel.
On their car starting the race, but they just felt it was something they had to do to be able to finish. Jeff Gordon leads Mark Martin and Jeff Green with 46 laps to go in the Miami 300. It's the season finale for the NASCAR Busch Series from Homestead Miami Speedway. Jeff Gordon there leading the Miami 300. Then a series of caution flag pit stops. Jeff Gordon got out first. It's Jeff Gordon leading at an average speed of 121.7 miles an hour, about 8 miles an hour slower than the track record here for the Busch Series.
It looked like that Mark Martin was going to come up and contest Jeff Gordon for the lead. He got himself into about, I don't know, 4 or 5 tenths of the lead, but all of a sudden he started to pull away from from Mark Martin again. I'll get this out in a minute.
Come on, Beep goes to pit road for attention. And Mark Martin, look at this, closing in on Jeff Gordon. Chopped down another couple of car lengths on him.
Last time by, he was about a half mile per hour faster than Jeff Gordon. Here he comes off the line. That time, he was still about a half mile per hour faster than Jeff Gordon.
Marty has more on Mark Martin.
Well, Benny, you speculated earlier that when Mark Martin pulled up to Jeff Gordon, that Jeff Gordon pulled away from him. Actually, Mark kind of let off at that point. There's a speculation among his pit crew. Mark hasn't said a word, but they think he was just trying out the car, seeing if he could get to Jeff Gordon, and he did. So he backed off, saved his tires for a little bit more. And I just asked Tony Lambert, did you just tell him to go? And he just smiled as if they know who the winner of this race might be.
Well, Mark Martin is closing on Jeff Gordon. He's running faster than Gordon each successive lap. We're closing in on the finish of the Miami 300. Stay with us. We'll find out how it turns out. "29 laps to go in the Miami 300. Mark Martin is closing on Jeff Gordon.
Ron Young, Martin closed up on the back bumper of him, has to go the high side. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon's on the inside of Chad Chapman in the 25 car.
Both drivers making their final start in the NASCAR Busch Series. Gordon, of course, only running a handful of events last year and this, trying to get his 5th Busch Series win. Mark Martin, the winningest driver in series history. Just this season, he's got 5 wins, 45 overall. Trying to add on to the all-time record with one final checkered flag.
Last 4 or 5 years, the 60 car Mark Martin has been Mr. Busch when it comes to this series, this touring series. The guy to beat about every time he showed up.
And you know, this is one of the few tracks that Mark has run a Busch Series race on in the last 5 years that he hasn't won at. His best finish here is 3rd on 3 occasions.
See Jeff Gordon going to the corner on the outside of Tony Raines. Oh, Mark has to go on the outside as well. If Mark can catch Jeff passing the car on the outside off the corner, he might be able to sneak on the inside and go 3 wide down the straightaway, get position. But Jeff has got to catch that car at a perfect spot for him, and I think Jeff is probably a little bit too wise for that.
Talked about Mark running easy for a while and now turning up the heat, trying to save that right front. How much do we think Jeff Gordon was doing the same thing, and does he maybe have something left to try and put on Mark? I mean, we've still got 27 laps to go.
Very possibly. Both these race car drivers, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, very, very intelligent when it comes to saving that car and knowing exactly how hard you can run the car.
They pulled away from 3rd place Jeff Green by 2.5 seconds, 2.63. The margin now from leader Gordon back to Jeff Green, so he has fallen out of the chase here. And in fact, Jason Keller, his teammate, is closing a little bit on him for 3rd spot. He's still got a ways to go before he'll catch him. Interesting to watch how much the racing line has changed throughout the day. They all started out trying to hug that yellow line all the way around the insides of the corners. Now they're both going down below it at both ends of the racetrack, getting into the corner. Then they kind of let the car run up a little bit and then cut back down below it.
Watch Mark just goes out on the apron of the racetrack. I think there's some grip there with that left side tires. I think all the cars have been on the racetrack. I think it's very slippery there. I think when they go down to the left, they're getting some grip with that left side, and that's why they're doing it.
focusing on the race for the lead. There are 14 cars on the lead lap, but this is the closest race for position at the moment, and it's a good one as Martin continues to stalk and chase Jeff Gordon to try and find a way around him.
We talk about these banks, only 6 degrees banking in the corner, but the apron of the racetrack is completely flat.
Going to take a commercial break here. This is our last commercial break. We go from here to the checkered flag to see who wins the Miami 300. We'll come back. Up next on NBC, it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame taking on the Boston College Eagles. The Irish trying to avenge an upset loss at the hands of BC a year ago. That's next, right after our race here on NBC. Watching the fight for the win in the Miami 300 between Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin. They've been in and out of lap traffic, and the interval between them has shifted accordingly.
And Jeff Gordon is really getting a break now. Most of these guys are moving over. Kevin LePage, the 71 car. They're moving up the racetrack and giving these guys the preferred line on the bottom of the racetrack. If some of these guys were stay on the bottom and force Jeff to pass them on the outside, and they do it off the corner, that would be the chance that Mark Martin needs to jump on the inside and try to pass Jeff Gordon.
As they begin to race harder and harder for the win, remember, tires are a story in this race. At 60 laps earlier in a couple of sets of pit stops, we began to see some cord showing through the right front tires on some of these cars. They stopped with 70 laps to go if we go without the yellow to the finish. Of cars on the lead lap there, and look at Mark Martin closing in on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon. 19 to go. Catching him's one thing. Passing him to another.
Is another, because when these cars anymore, they're so aerodynamic. When they pull up behind another car, you lose the full complement of air on the nose of the car. You lose that downforce, and the front starts sliding off the corner as you accelerate. We call that an aero push. See, now Jeff Gordon got a break. He caught the car going in the corner. That was Randy LaJoie. Caught him going in the corner. He was able to get his car down to the bottom, to the groove. And the 60.
They're both very quick, but unfortunately, neither one of them have been able to get up and challenge Jeff Gordon or Mark Martin today.
Green running 3 seconds behind Jeff Gordon. Keller running 4.8 seconds behind the leader, Gordon. And Gordon's put a little space on Mark Martin here in these last couple of laps.
All of a sudden, he seems to pick up some speed. He's about 3/4 of a second now in front of Mark Martin.
There's the interval between the two.
Let's go down to Marty Snyder.
And there's some concern in the Mark Martin pit. He radioed to the crew. He said the right front is starting to wear very badly. I'm a little concerned about it. And all Tony Lambert said is do what you can do. And it appears that Mark Martin may be giving up the ghost on trying to win this race.
Watch this car slide up the racetrack. We've seen him down on this yellow line all the way through. Oh, once again, that big wiggle off turn 4. Boy, Mark Martin right now is fighting a very ill-handling race car.
And Jeff Gordon getting out to that kind of a lead. Now he can try and take care of his tire too. He can kind of slow down to Martin's pace and just try and keep that gap between them. Because again, Gordon's going to have the same concerns about his right front. Running the 70 laps on that set of tires. So this could still change yet. If one of these guys is running too hard and ends up going right through that tire. Let's mention that P.J. Jones has just retired his car. Engine failure. As the reason out, we saw the smoke on the machine earlier. He's going to finish 37th today.
15 more laps to fight this thing. Mark Martin has to be looking at that scoreboard. They're talking to Tony Lambert every time down the straightaway and said, how many more laps? How many more laps do I have to sit out here? And look at these guys on the apron of the racetrack trying to find some grip someplace.
Todd Bodine moves low, gives the leaders way. Todd lost 5 laps earlier in the event when the mandatory kill switch for the ignition that's mounted on the steering wheel shorted out in turn 1 right after the green flag. So the leaders by. And with 13 to go, that is 0.8 of a second between Gordon and Martin. Well, what do you think, BP? You're in Martin's car. You know that right front's starting to give you a little trouble. Do you try and cool it off? Can you try and cool it off and make a final charge? What is he doing?
Well, I think he's just trying to finish the race right now. I think that's what he's trying to do, Alan, when he goes in the corner here, when he lets it drift up the racetrack like this. I think he's trying to take it easy on that right front.
So you think he's kind of saying, okay,
I surrender. I just want to see the checkered flag right now.
Gordon to the inside of Jason Jarrett. Jarrett in 36th position, now 6 laps down. Had the hood up on his car earlier in the race.
And once again, we keep talking about the right front tire wing. It's not anything that's wrong with the tire. The teams have just found if they use air to force these cars down the straightaway, they're much faster. But when they do that, the car travels so much that the tire leans in at the top, gains negative camber till only the inside.
Gotten away from Jimmy Johnson.
Drives away from Johnson just a little bit. Meanwhile, there comes Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin running 1 and 2 with just 8.5 laps to go.
Phil Parsons' car. Phil making his final drive in this machine. He's running in 20th now. He's 2 laps down by the leader. Looks like Martin was able to close a little bit on Gordon there when they were getting around Phil. And there is Jeff Gordon's interval over Mark Martin. This could be determined. Martin's chance to win this thing could be determined by what kind of traffic they catch in the final couple of laps.
I think he can make it all the way around. Meanwhile, folks, this is the battle for the lead. The blue car is Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin in 2nd spot. They come off the line, 5 laps to go. Both these guys fighting very, very worn tires as they try to finish this next 7.5 miles.
Final Busch Series drive for both Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin. Not going to run the Saturday shows anymore next season to concentrate on their Winston Cup Sunday effort. Both very determined to go out with a win entering the race. And both in position to try and do something about it over these final 5 laps. Gordon right now with the upper hand thanks to his pit crew. He got the lead on a pit stop that came back at lap 129. He has led since that point. Now 67 laps led for Jeff Gordon. And Joe Nemechek has gotten clear of the racetrack, and we will stay under the green flag.
4 to go. Jeff Gordon down on the bottom of the race. Look on the apron of the racetrack, not even using the track. That's supposed to be for the cleanup trucks down there, but these cars, these drivers are using that apron of the track because there's a little more grip there than up on the racetrack.
Kelly Denton in the 77, giving the leader's way. More traffic just ahead.
Mark slow, off the throttle, on the throttle, off the throttle.
But he's hanging right with Gordon, and he's running identical lap speeds to him. Last time by, they were both at 141.71. This time, in fact, Mark even a little faster.
And look at Mark on the apron of the racetrack, all the way on the apron, trying to take the car into the corner. I think Mark Martin right now, Jeff Gordon, they've forgotten about tires. There's one thing in their mind: win the race.
Be 2 to go when they come back to the start-finish line. Jeff Gordon seeking his first NASCAR Busch Series win in over a year. Mark Martin seeking what would be his 6th win of the season. There's Rick Hendrick and Jack Roush, the 2 team owners, looking on.
I don't think either one of them think they're going to win. I think they're both concerned about these cars being able to finish. As I said, very, very worn tires on these cars.
Mark flipping the dirt with the left side tires on his car in a desperate move to find some traction.
Doing anything he can, just trying anything he can to gain on this blue car of Jeff Gordon.
The white flag flies when they come out of turn 4. Lap traffic is ahead. Jay Sauter, last car on the lead lap in 13th position. The leaders will catch as they come to the line. White flag is out. 1 more lap in the Miami 300. Gordon's lead would appear somewhat safe, but he can't afford a slip.
Well, with Jay Sauter, will these slower cars make a difference? Mark Martin driving on the apron of the racetrack. Don't get in the dirt. There's no grip there, Mark.
Half a lap to go.
Jay Sauter's still up there. They go by Ron Young. That's not a problem. Turn 4, the last time they're coming up.
Martin trying to catch Gordon for a final victory if he can. Here they come off of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. He's not going to be able to do it. Jeff Gordon is going to win the Miami 300 over Mark Martin in both drivers' final NASCAR Busch Series. A duel from pit stops at lap 129 to the checkers at lap 200. The pit crew got Jeff Gordon the lead, and he held it from there.
I think that Mark Martin would have stayed in front, had his pit stop, gotten him out there, and see a bunch of guys, happy guys, with that 24 car.
Jeff Gordon's team getting the job done. He gets the lead on the pit stop, leads to the finish for Jeff Gordon. It would be his first win of the 2000 Busch Series season and his 5th career victory. He takes it unofficially by 0.24 seconds over Mark Martin. Less than 0.3 of a second between the two. Here are the unofficial results of today's race. A word from our winner. Here's Dave Burns.
And Jeff Gordon hops out of the Pepsi Chevy, finds his crew chief Lance Dieters. And Jeff, what does it mean to win in your final Busch Series start, but to beat the acknowledged king of the Busch Series, Mark Martin?
Well, that's quite a feat, you know. Man, he ran me hard. These guys just did an excellent job. Ricky Hendrick tested this car. I didn't even drive it until I got here, so he did an excellent job. I want to thank Hendrick Motorsports. They did a great job putting this car together. Of course, Pepsi and Fritos and Chevrolet, Goodyear, Winter Circle, everybody involved with this team. I'm worn out. It's been a heck of a day, but I owe it all this team. They did a great job, and to do it by outrunning Mark, man, he ran me hard. I didn't think I could get him.
What do you think your right front tire looks like about now?
There's not much left of it. I about had to run through the grass to get around the track. Pretty tough place to get around.
All right, well, Jeff Gordon wins his 5th race of his Busch Series career. Let's go to Marty Snyder.
And with Mark Martin, who finishes out a terrific NASCAR Busch Series.
Tries to win the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. Now to South Bend, Indiana. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame playing host to Boston College. We'll talk to you tomorrow from here in Homestead.